Hello everybody, this is Toysareruss, and for this third-party figure showcase and review, we're going to be looking at the Siyang culture. We're going to look at both of these because they come in a two-pack. This is their take on a trainbot. Of course, these are both going to combine to form Raiden, but obviously it won't be called that. So in this video, we're going to do loads of comparisons. I'm lucky enough to have the originals and the masterpiece version, so we can have a look at the size differences compared to them. I'm going to show you exactly how they came packaged with the accessories that they came with, and of course, we'll look at them in both modes and again do some more comparisons as well. So as I start to move all of these out of the way, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out, and also to thank Getsuei because that's where these came from, and there's a direct link for these in the description if you want to get some for yourself. Right, let me just move everything out of the way, and yeah, probably one of the main reasons why I've looked at this is because I just absolutely love the trainbots. It's crazy, especially considering I didn't even know they existed until like the late noughties, I think it was, perhaps even that little bit later in all honesty, but there's just something fascinating about the fact that these particular figures, you know, the trains etc, do combine. So this is the outer packaging, so it comes obviously in a normal shipping box as well, but this is like the outer packaging. It says SY03. We've had as well, if you remember, I think Siyang number one was Metroplex, and then I think 2 was Scamper, and I've forgotten his name, the other one that comes with Metroplex. It'll come to me in a second. And now we've got these, and again they're releasing them in sets of 2, which is great, obviously, which we can slam at. There we go. No, it wasn't, it was 6 gun, but there you go. There's the outer packaging. They're called Thunderbolt. What else are they called? Thunderbolt Train, that's what Raiden's called then. So there you go, we've got YC001, Night Walking, and Snowfield. So that's interesting. So it looks like, which one's which? Let's have a look. So Night Walking is Getsuei, and Yukikaze is Snowfield. By the looks of it, there's some actual product shots there. Now they do come packaged in their robot mode, and now you've probably noticed I've uploaded a transformation tutorial separately. And again, the reason why I'm doing them both, and I very rarely do 2 figures at the same time, is because although the outside they look different, they are identical in every way. The transformation process is exactly the same, whereas, you know, even the original vintage ones changed the transformation processes to some degrees. So what we've got here is exactly that. So they are your vintage G1 trainbots. So to give you an idea of size, they're a little bit bigger, obviously, in all aspects, but they're nowhere near as big. I've just moved one already and put it somewhere. Even though this is one of the smaller ones, they're nowhere near as big as the masterpiece ones from Takara anyway, and of course that means they'll definitely be nowhere near as big as the masterpiece ones from Moon Studio, which of course is a third-party company. So let's just give you an idea, I suppose, of size of these particular figures before we have a look at them, because unfortunately, well, I say not unfortunately, I suppose it's one of them things where you get what you pay for. Well, they're quite cheap, and as you'll see in a second, you'll probably be able to tell in the alternate mode. But there he is against Optimus G1. There he is against Earthrise Optimus. I've got a few other figures just knocking around here. So there he is, Jazz Deluxe figure, third party. We've got Iron Factory's Leozak. I've just turned him to the side. What else have we got? We can have a quick look against, I haven't got many alternate modes, if I'm being completely honest. They're all going to be massive compared to them. There you go, there's Studio Series Shockwave, and I suppose finally that is of course New Age's take on a Megatron. Right, let's have a look at, I'm going to call them Yukikaze because that's, as I said, the names that I know them by. Now this is just painted plastic, and to be honest, I'm not going to say it feels cheap, but it doesn't, it's weird. It's like, it took me ages to get around to doing these because I don't know, I just wasn't impressed. They're okay, and I'm interested more to see what they're going to look like combined. But this is all painted, all the, I suppose, the molding details are there, everything's just painted. The weapon, you can see, can be stored underneath like so, and if I'm looking at this, it looks to be, yep, there you go, it's just a carbon copy, just a little bit bigger, of the original Generation 1 figure. So again, you can tell, I suppose, it's a robot upside down. It's already all folded up in there. I suppose again it's quite difficult with trains to get them into the robots. That's very obviously his feet though, and I think they perhaps could have, you know, hidden them away a little bit better, but oh well, they didn't. And this of course is Getsuei, exactly the same, weapon stores exactly the same, arms folded under the same, chest the same, etc. There's no translucent plastic at all. This is, as I say, it's just all painted. And you know, I suppose, let's be honest, it's basic, but so are Doctor Who figures. They're basic and I like them, etc. Maybe I'm just being harsh on them because I really do like trainbots, but there's nothing more to say about them in this particular mode. We're going to come right back and they're going to be in their robots for some more comparisons. So we're back in robot mode again. Quick apologies, no transformation process on this video. That is to keep the main length of the video down, and as I said, I've uploaded a tutorial if you want to use it for yourselves. So again, exactly the same figures. Let me just move him out of the way to show you the articulation, because that's the same, but then I'll show you the details which are slightly different, like head sculpt, etc. So the head sculpt looks good. You can see you have got full articulation. It is on like a mushroom peg, so it will go all the way around, look up and down, etc. The shoulders, as you can see, are on ball and socket, so they will go all the way around, and they're pretty much unrestricted as well, which is pretty cool, even with all of this going on at the back like so. You can then take it out to the sides. You can get the full T on both. You've got a swivel at the top. You've got a double bicep flexion, so it'll fold right the way over, which you probably saw it was folded over underneath. The wrists will spin all the way around as well. You do have a waist rotation. You don't have an ab crunch, but you do have, due to transformation, a sort of ab tilt or a waist tilt, if that's a real thing. I suppose yes, it is, leaning to the side. It makes him look like he's going to split in two, but I suppose that people who compose things better than me could in fact do that. Right, if we just move the hip skirts out of the way, you can go all the way out to the side, all the way up to vertical, but at the back you are going to be hindered unless you fold this up, which, to be fair, you can pretty much get away with, but you don't really need to. That's just folded over and covered there. There is a thigh cut, knee bend, and there is an ankle tilt, but there isn't a toe tap or anything like that. So as you say, pretty articulate, let's be honest guys, for something that is in fact this small. Right, as I say, details on the chest, they're all painted. There's nothing on here that I can see is translucent. The wheels, I forgot to show you in the other mode, they are plastic as well, but they are all individually pinned. I don't know if they fit on train tracks like some of the masterpieces do. And I suppose very quickly, let's bring in the G1. There we go. Now unfortunately, my masterpiece yukikaze is ready to be combined. Yes, that's right. If you've been watching this channel for some time, I am eventually going to get this guy into full combined mode, but I do have pretty much all the other train pots, but I'm got it in robot mode apart from the one you've just seen, Kyan. But I'm going to put Getsuei there because I might as well, because he's coming up next anyway. So let me just shift this out of the way and let me just bring in some other figures to give you an idea, I suppose, of scale and size. So because we're doing third party, there is New Age's Optimus Prime, which is about the right size. There is your Iron Factory drill horn. Let's bring in some normal figures again. I say normal figures, what I mean by normal figures is mainstream, mainline. That is of course the retro reissue Prime. That is a rather big deluxe mainframe. I think it's the Takara one, just in case anybody asks. Let's move him out of the way. This is concept art Megatron. So again, we're getting into sizes that they make no difference, but it's just to give you an idea, because everybody who watches this channel, I review everything. I review every single different pretty much figure, so I know that they're not supposed to scale together, guys. I'm 100% aware of that. However, the reason I'm doing it, as I say, is just exactly that, to give you an idea. So let's move the third party out of the way and let's bring in a couple of others like so. So that's of course a core class, and that is of course a blockies. So right, let's get rid of yukikaze just for now. Oh, I didn't do the one final one, did I? I suppose one of the most important ones that I didn't do is G1 Raiden, which, there you go, is towering completely above him, but this one is going to be bigger due to the size of the individual bots. Let's move him out of the way and let's do very quickly Getsuei then. So Getsuei, there's Masterpiece, there's G1. The clever thing again, the weapon is just exactly that. They've just made it bigger, blown it up. And again, I say this in all the videos that I review when I review third-party figures, I do not know in some ways how they get away with it. I really don't know how they get away with some of the things, because it's clearly Getsuei. I know they've not called him Getsuei, but it definitely is Getsuei. The big thing about this is, though, the backpack. They very cleverly, look, it's nowhere near as bad as the Masterpiece. The Masterpiece has got a lot more kibble here, a bit more of a backpack there, whereas this one's folded quite flat, in honesty. And of course the G1, bless him, you could take it off if you want to, he's got no backpack, but then of course you probably would lose it. So that's him. Let's move him quickly out of the way as well. And there was one other that's a size comparison that I didn't do. Whoops, I'm knocking everything over. And that is, of course, Studio Series 86 Prime. But last quick look at these. And let's bring the Getsuei out of the way. And let's have a look at him. So he's got the different head sculpts, you can see. Nice painted face. All the articulation, everything else is the same. In fact, if anything, this one folds down that little bit neater. There he is with his blaster. Let's bring Yukikaze back in. Where have I put him? There he is. And I'm going to pretty much sign off there with these for now. As I said, these are going to be very interesting to see how they do combine. And at the moment, there's no sign of 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 just yet. But in the meantime, guys, these are the Siyang culture take on trainbots. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Take care.